Hello and welcome to my channel. This video that I'm going to do today is a magic stencil technique. I've already done this technique in another video, but I wanted to show this again, and I'm going to be also using some masking in this video. This little cute guy here is a sticker, and I got these stickers from the dollar store. And if you don't have stickers but you had a stamp, which is a seahorse or any sort of aquatic creature, the design would fit perfectly also. So let me clear this stuff away and show you the materials that I use for making this card. I have brought in my new craft mat to try and cut down the glare, but again we have the shadow to deal with. Please try and look through it. The materials I'm going to be using is a craft card base, which is white, not craft, sorry, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a black piece of panel, which is 5 1/4 by 4. I have some Bristol smooth watercolor paper, which is 5 by 3 3/4, and regular cardstock, also 5 by 3 3/4. What I'm going to be using today is this stencil from the My Monthly Hero June My Monthly Hero, I think it was, kit by Hero Arts. And I also have a stamp set that came out in the same month called Mer-Mazing, also Hero Arts. And I have the Spellbinders Standard Circles Large. I'm going to be using this one. And I'm going to be doing some ink blending, so I have ink blending tools. And I'm going to be using Distress Oxide inks for this. This would also work with the regular Distress inks, but I'm going to get better results with the Distress Oxide, so that's what I'm using today. I have cracked pistachio, broken china, and faded jeans. I'm also going to be using Versafine Onyx Black. For this technique, I'm going to need a water bottle. This is a Tim Holtz spray mister. I'm also going to be using some rhinestones, and these are the stickers that I referred to. Some of them have the little googly eyes, but some of them don't, but the one that I'm going to use today doesn't have it, so I also have to get some googly eyes to do this. Alright, let me clear these things away and we'll get right into how to make this technique work. First, I need to prepare my mask. So I'm taking the plain white cardstock and the circle, and I'm going to run this to my Big Shot, and I will get a piece of paper with a hole cut out, which I will use to make the mask that I need for the card front. This will be reverse masking technique. Be right back. Alright, you can save this circle for another project. We don't need it for this one. So I need some painter's tape, and this reverse masking technique will work by cutting a shape out and then using the negative space to do the actual masking. So I want the circle, so I'm cutting the I'm using the cutout to do that, but I want it not to move, so I'm going to hold it in place with a little bit of this painter's tape. But because I don't want the tape to cut my cardstock, to tear my cardstock, I'm going to make it a little less sticky by just putting it on my arm and my clothes and what have you. This will also work if you had repositional tape, which I don't, so I'm just going to use this. Okay, that's one piece, and that's the other piece. Okay, now I could use this craft mat for the ink blending, but I don't want to have a mess that I have to deal with later, since I'm actually working in this area and I'd like to go quickly, so I'm going to bring in a piece of paper. So the three inks I have to get the blender tool from it, and this is my ink blending tool, my ink blending sponge book. I have shown this in a couple of videos, and there is a video on my channel describing how I made this. I got this idea on the web, and I just love it. Please check that video out so you can make one of these for yourself. It really helps a lot. I can't begin to stress how useful it is to be able to have all of my blending tools organized and ready to go, so I don't have to spend a lot of time looking for them, and I can just put them right back when I'm finished. Okay, so there is no right way or wrong way for this blending. Just put the colors down as much as you like until you feel that you have enough. So I'm going to just put the green randomly around, and then the broken china. Hope I used the right one. Oh well, I keep doing that. But it's alright. Okay, that's good. And then I'm going to blend the colors out with the faded jeans. Just making sure that I've gotten all the white areas. And I'm going to go over a little bit more with this. Okay, you see how fast that went? No problem. And now that I'm finished, bring my book back and pop my things right back where they go. Easy peasy. I'll take a moment to clean my hands real quick. I ordinarily would have put on gloves for the Distress Oxide blending because I tend to get my fingers a little messy, and I put little colored fingerprints all over everything, and I don't like that. Okay, so now we take the mask off. It has served its purpose. If you were doing more than one of this, you could of course reuse it, but just be careful because it's gotten a little inky. And there you see, just like I want it. But before I completely discard this, I want to hold on to this for just a moment. This is the same mistake I was about to make that I made when my sister was here and I showed her how to do this. So if you're watching, Linda, you'll know what I just almost did there. Okay, so let's move this aside and bring in my stencil. So how this technique works is this distressed ink reacts to water. So once water hits it, you'll see the images will go a little bit white and dusty, and a little bit more chalky. The Distress Oxide more so than the regular distress inks. So we're going to use the stencil to transfer the pattern onto the page here that we've done. The panel, sorry. So we're going to take the water bottle and go all over this generously so you get a light misting of it, and carefully lift it up and put it straight down and leave it there briefly. This just takes a couple of seconds, and then just dab up the extra water. Be careful not to make this move, and then lift it also very carefully. And you see the pattern has transferred to the panel. I'll take this up now. And the reason I needed to leave this on because I would have transferred all that water to the panel, and I didn't want that. That was a mistake I almost made. So I just need to dry this with my heat tool, and I'll be right back. And just clean this up area. This stencil will rinse off with water, no problem. There, all dry, and you see the pattern shows up beautifully. All right. The rest of the card is just simple assembly, so I'm going to let the music run and assemble the card for you. Well, that's the card, except I cannot find where I put my googly eyes, but I will keep looking until I do. This will have to be how he faces the world. But I hope you liked this video, and I hope that you will try this magic stencil technique yourself. You can use any stencils that you had and get the same effect. I also had this stencil from the same My Monthly Hero kit, and I may do a few more examples using this stencil technique. And the reverse masking technique is also a very important technique to add to your repertoire. And I didn't mention it, but I also used my embossing buddy to take the sticky off the back of the sticker so I could pop it up with foam tape and give it a little bit more dimension than sticking it straight down. And the rhinestones are serving as bubbles. And I hope you will try this card yourself. I'd like to thank my brother David for providing the music that I'm using for the channel. He has provided some really excellent music, and it really fits in very well with the cards that I'm trying to demonstrate. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. Please pass the word to everyone that I'm making card videos. Even if you're not into making cards yourself, perhaps you will enjoy watching how the cards that you may receive from me came to be and what I did to make that. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Take care.
This is Jade and I am guest hosting on Grandma's channel. If you comment in the video below, you'll have a chance to get one of these cards. Thank you very much for watching and please subscribe.